Ladies and gentlemen, Two Dudes Talk Music in conjunction with E. Brown Industries and Big Jerry Burger brings to you everybody's new favourite game show, Get in the Bin. Now, let's go to our host, Reverend Raph and the beer buddy, Kyle. How you doing, everybody? We are back again with Matt and Jack from Denazen. As you guys know, we are doing a whole bunch of special episodes over the next few months in the run-up to Metal to the Max Festival that is taking place out at Broken Hill on the 5th and 6th of October. We're going to have links to the description down below. All the more detailed stuff's in the podcast, main podcast on that one. But what you need to know is it's 30 bands over 2 days, 3 nights of camping out in the back end of New South Wales. It's going to be an amazing time at the Mad Max 2 replica compound out there near Broken Hill. What more do you need to know? Go out and get your tickets now before they're sold out. But we are here today for everyone's favourite segment of the week. This is Get in the Bin. Now, the whole point of this segment is we talk to our guests and we say, if you were imbued with, phenomenal cosmic power and could snap your fingers and eliminate any aspect of the music business, what would it be? We are going to get 3 from each of them. So if we can get what it is that you want to eliminate and a little bit of a reason why, however you want to do it, if you want to alternate, if you want to go all 3 from one of you and then all 3 from the other one, but you give us what it is, the reason why, we'll have a little discussion about it. Away you go, gentlemen. Who's first?
I'm first. All right.
He's first.
First one, this is probably relates more to drums, but the whole debate around triggers on a bass drum, like if you're drummers that use triggers, that is one of the things that pisses me off the most when I see people commenting on, like, if it's Instagram, Facebook, whatever, about, oh, you're using triggers, it sounds like shit. It's like, well, who cares? And it's not cheating. So that's one.
Agreed. I heavy agree. I mean, just to kind of jump in on that, like,
Triggers.
if anyone, I understand for a long time, yes, like program drums have been a thing. And yes, I'm sure there's people out there that are very, very astute listeners who can tell the difference in an A/B test in a perfect environment, right? I'm sure that's
good on you. Congratulations on your perfect hearing.
Cool. It doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day. Like, it's especially if it's triggers, I think, as well. Like there's another debate to be had on program drums versus played drums. But like what is it fucking, if you're playing it, that you're playing it. Like it.
You know what the worst part about it is, Raph? Most of those old school old farts that'll say it, as soon as you tell them that Lars played or that infamous double kick part on a fucking floor tom.
Yep.
They all, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. Yeah, he fucking did. He recorded it with a fucking floor tom.
Yeah. So, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. All right. So, people being cunts about drum triggers.
Fucking oath. Good on you.
Because I don't even use triggers. I just, every time I hear someone complain about it, it's like, if it really bothers you that much, just listen to something that doesn't have triggers to stroke your ego. But
it's a tool. It's a tool. That's all it is. It's a tool in the arsenal.
Do it better.
You don't complain to guitarists about using pickups, so why would you complain about that? It's the same fucking thing, but for drum.
You didn't consult me first when you said that, but that's okay.
You know what I'm pissed off with? Pickups and guitars. Play on a keys, you can't.
Play on the grandpa's guitars. All right.
Okay, number 2, probably just like, I mean, it's kind of the same as the trigger one, but more broad, but just like gatekeeping. Like I understand that you can feel like you connect with a certain genre or a certain scene or community or whatever. That's great. And that's not, I don't want to take that away. The whole idea of being like, oh, this is superior, this is on another level. It's like, at the end of the day, you get to a certain stage in music where it's art. And I know everyone says it's like, oh, it's art, bro. But like it is. And people can listen to whatever they want. Nothing's better or worse. If it's got electronics in it, if it's got no electronics, if it's got 8-string guitars, if it's got 1-string guitar, like it doesn't matter. And when people complain about like, oh, this is not as good, like, yeah, I just
they're not artists. They don't understand. All they do is think they need to fit into a box of this is good, this is bad. Where if you actually spoke to, and this is a funny thing, if you actually spoke to these musicians that these people idolize and say you should be doing it like this, 90% of the time they'll turn around and go, I respect what they do. They're doing a really good job. This other, I enjoy this other band. What the fuck are you talking about?
Best example of that for me is when Rob Zombie was playing a festival with Baby Metal. We're on it as well, and he posted a photo with them. And people were coming in there going, "Oh, I'm disappointed, Rob. Like, you know, I would have thought you'd be like, you know, you'd be above something as talentless as Baby Metal, blah blah blah." And he literally went in the comments and replied, he's like, "These girls rock harder than you, bro. Like, they're out there putting on amazing shows, doing all this stuff. Like, they, you know." If you can't respect that, then I don't want you as a fan, basically.
Rob Halford did it. Rob
Halford's done it too. Yep. Yeah, it's amazing, and like, you know, it's just gatekeeping can completely fuck off. Like, there's no place for it. I understand that you may have had to suffer in high school to listen to, because you were the alternative kid, or you listened to metal music when everyone else was into rap or whatever. Like, we went through it, cool, but why would you want someone else to go through such a negative experience?
Exactly.
You know, they don't have to earn it. They just have to like the songs. And they don't even have to like all the songs. They just have to like the songs that they like. They don't have to know the bass player's first girlfriend's third cousin's name to be a real fan. They don't have to name 3 fucking songs off 3 different albums. They don't have to have bought the shirt for like $60 at a gig to be a legitimate fan. Like, they just have to enjoy the music.
They just got to enjoy one song, as far as I'm concerned. Look, it does upset me that they don't take the time to go and look at the back catalogue. But hey, if the name is in the brain and in the mouth, I'm happy. Even if I can conversate with you about one song from a band I enjoy, I'm happy. I don't want you to name another 3 songs. I'm over that shit. Like, it's not for me to fucking do that shit.
Yeah. What is that shit naming 3 songs anyway? Like,
yeah. And like, if you like a band in a genre, why do you not want to be as inviting as possible for more people to enjoy that?
Yeah,
because that's just got to turn fans off. It's like, oh, I like this one song. What about the other ones? It's like, if this is what the fans of fucking this band are like, I want nothing to do with the music.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So okay, so drum trigger people that are shitty about drum triggers is number 1. Gatekeeping's number 2. What's your third one?
Honestly, like, maybe this is not, I mean, I know you said it could be broad, so I guess just this comes down to social media stuff, like the amount of shit I see of people going in on like someone who's like, I don't know, like a gay guitarist or something, or a trans guitarist, and it's like, oh, and just the amount of like hate and shit. And I know that extends beyond music, but it should have like, that shouldn't be in music at all, because it's about music and about what people into. Yep. And when you see, like, if you go on Instagram comments or something and you just, like, I know I personally can be like shitty with it, where I'll scroll and get really angry at
doom scrolling.
Doom.
I'm a fiend for that. I'm a fiend for it, bro. Don't worry about it.
Especially in metal, though. Especially in like metal, where like we've all been the outcast at some point with it. Like, a lot of the time we're drawn to it because we're the outcast and we found the other outcasts, you know. To then be hateful towards someone who has struggled to find their identity through their life and has gone through a lot of challenges solely so that they can be the genuine person, the genuine version of themselves, is like, it's shocking. It's awful.
It makes me fucking ashamed. Look,
Yeah.
If there are 2 things in this world that are none of mine or anyone else's business, is what's in between your legs and who you fucking. That are 2, like, and I will never make a judgment on either of those things. If you make a judgment on those things, you are a shitty person and you need to check substance.
And look, hey, if there's anyone that is, you know, follows us, is a fan of ours, and wants to behave in that way, wants to be hateful towards people for for being for being anything other than cisgendered and heterosexual, fuck off, like straight away. Like, you can get the fuck out. We don't want you following 100%. Us. We don't want you engaging with our stuff. We don't want you as a fan. We don't want you anywhere near our shit, because we just don't want anyone like that involved with what we're doing. It's all about the love. It's all about the embracing and loving people for who they are. And if you're
Rob Halford twice.
Yes, Rob Halford.
It comes down to just like, look, if you're cisgendered and straight, whatever, just understand that not every other person is exactly the same as you. Like, no one is the same. Everyone has their own stuff going on.
Yeah. We just got to embrace the differences, embrace the love, and that's what we're about. We're all about embracing the positivity and the good side, the good stuff around metal and music, and all like the negative shit, like we said, it can fuck right off. That's some really, really strong picks there. I like those ones. So we got people that hate around drum triggers, gatekeeping, and just people being bigoted cunts, essentially.
Good.
Yeah,
that's a good fuck off. That's a good. Yep.
You know what? And you know what? Look, and I, you're entitled to your opinion, even though I believe it is very fucking wrong. Just try and keep it quiet and not be a cunt and just enjoy the music. Maybe just try and do that. Mate, you're more than entitled to it. But just don't be a dick.
Yep.
Keep that an inside thought that you can go bitch about behind closed doors on your fucking own.
Yeah. All right. So what about yours, Jack? What have you got for us?
Well, I mean, okay, look, mine might not be as deep as Matt's here, but like,
no, hey, that's fine. It's your choices. It's your choices.
So at least like there's too much praise for say like nothing special. I will say it's like I listen to some things like, and I'll say, especially in Adelaide, there's a lot of indie, like indie bands and stuff, man, and like
it's all the weed.
I see that like and it picks up so quick, like to an extent, but like, dude, like substance, man, like the musicality. I want more musicality in the music.
Okay,
I want more timings. I want more melody, whatever it is, like, I mean, that's a personal one from me, at least.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean,
that just goes to show you the type of musician that you are.
So but I think just to try and clarify and get some understanding of your point, though, like I feel like you're not talking about just stuff being simple, right? Like you're not talking about that. Like simple can be great. Obviously,
I think he's talking about everything being same, and
that being like
J thing, the
being
J
soulless and
10 bands might sound like 10 bands, man. It's just like completely interchangeable. It could be all
It sort of falls into the metal thing too, like what makes you stand out from those other 10 indie rock bands.
For sure.
That's why, like, you look at a band like from Queensland, like Trip Sitter. They got the vibe, they got the look, they got the extra band member. Like they're there, they get it. They stand out.
Yep. Cool. Okay. Awesome. All right. So cool. What's number 2?
Oh man, dude. It's a hard question, man. It's hard to put on the spot like what I don't like about the music industry. I do think, I guess I will say streaming. I mean, like,
that's a good one, man.
It's amazingly accessible, and like I have benefited, no doubt, so much from streaming. Like a lot of like most of the shit I've heard is like all through streaming and this and that influenced. But it's also such a detriment as well. There's no value in the music hearing it. Like there's no value in that. Like I couldn't imagine ever making money one day from recording music and distributing it. It's just publicity. and just people like
the main thing is live shows, merchandise, live shows, merchandise, sponsorships, and social media.
Yeah, well,
and that's what music, that's what bands have turned into.
We talk about it a lot on the podcast. It's come up many, many times. We've ranted about it a lot, and so I'm going to try not to repeat too much of what we've said. But the core thing for me when it comes to streaming, as you say, it's a double-edged sword, right? Like, it's good because it allows discoverability. It allows you to find fans all over the world, and it allows you as a fan of music to find cool music from all over the world, which is great. Like, I fully get. Yep, I've had advantage and found amazing bands that I would not have otherwise come across. But you hit the nail on the head where you said, like, there's no value to the music on there. It has first, it happened with iTunes, then moving into streaming, it accelerated it. It's what I've referred to as the devaluation of music in the mind of the consumer.
It started with Napster, and
it turns, like, if you look at what you're paying for a month on Spotify, back before Spotify, that was, you could buy one album a month if you were using that money. If that was your budget for music, you'd buy one album a month, and at the end of the year, you'd have 12 albums.
A Spotify family plan. I pay like $20 every 6 months.
That's less than what I used to spend on a full-length album.
And
that was $30 back in.
But that's the thing, right? Like, now, so those albums had value. Right, those albums had value, those songs had value. As Kyle often says, because you'd spent your money on it, you would give it a red hot chance to see if even if at first listen you were a bit like, you'd give it a couple more listens to see how you go with it, right? But when you don't have to do that, when everything is immediately accessible, if something doesn't grab you in the first 10 seconds, you just go over to something else. And there's no putting that genie back in the bottle. It's done. Like, you can't. All those businesses could fold tomorrow, and people would still not pay money for music the way they used to, because it has gone from, okay, the fact that you don't even have to pay for Spotify, you can get ad supported, and it's nothing. Like, you can have every song ever made in the history of recorded music in your pocket for nothing. Like, a song isn't worth. It was like listen to 2 minutes of ads. An album's not worth $20 anymore. A song's not even worth $1 or 99 cents or whatever fucking it used to be on iTunes. A song is worth 0.00000 whatever, of a fraction. Like, it's just the value of a song to the average consumer, and let's be honest, the average consumer is not making music, so they don't understand what goes into it.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't understand the lifetime of blood, sweat, and tears that can go into some of this stuff. To them, it's just a song.
Mm-hmm.
It's there, and it's they don't see the money that has gone into it, and it's not about even making money off of this stuff necessarily. It's like, you just want to be able to have a career off it if you can.
Maybe just pay more rent.
And the silver lining, man, is that everyone hears it. Is that anyone who wants to can hear it, and that's where it's sort of comes ahead.
But then you hit the other. Then when you continue down that same path into that discussion, you go beyond that point to how can anyone get discovered when so much is flooding the market every single day?
And this is the thing. It's like, could you imagine? You think about it. You go, I got 5,000 streams. Could you imagine if you sold 5,000 actual EPs?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
At a $5 price.
Yeah. This is what I mean. Like, it's so easy to get us rolling about this. It's so easy to get us going about it. It's fucking.
It's fair.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And so what's your third one?
My third point, man. Instagram guitarists. I've had enough of the fucking chick there to, like, fucking playing the guitar, or the, like, whatever it is.
Get those shitty sponsorships and get sent free guitars, and they have a collection in the background. And
I want a free guitar. I mean, like, it's bullshit.
Well, just get a boob job.
Yeah.
Get a boob job and you get free guitars.
It's either that or you start live streaming you playing other people's music.
Yeah. I mean, I've never been.
You know what? You can't become the Instagram guitarist.
Yeah, you either die. You either die.
break down to that level.
You either die a real musician or you live long enough to see yourself become an Instagram guitarist.
It's getting there. Like, oh, seriously, man. Like, my Instagram inundated with that shit, man. Dude. Like,
it's the same as bands now when they, like, you look at 20, 30 years ago, it's like, oh, we make our money from touring and playing shows and all this stuff. It's like now we make our money from merch and social media, whatever stuff. It's
ads off social media.
To be an Instagram guitarist, it's like, it's cringe, but it's also like,
there's work that goes into it, man. You can't
there's different tiers.
Yeah.
There's different tiers. You get the Instagram guitarist who's a fucking prodigy. Right, you see him and you're like, okay, never in my million years, like, then you also have the other one, which is just like,
I get what you mean, though. Yeah, that you get the ones where literally all it is like an attractive person sat there playing like the most basic, straightforward shit that doesn't. That
shit, 100%.
Yeah. Exactly.
Those are good ones, man. That was a good one. We've never had anyone sort of mention. I like it. Fuck you, pretty boy Instagram guitarist people that don't play jam.
Just don't be mad because they've got that Riz, okay? Like
mate, I'm a chud. I'm an ugly fucking chud. These two motherfuckers.
Sorry, I know. I know that it probably hurt a lot of people for this elder millennial to use the Gen Z slang. But I got it. I
get it. Brain rot, man. It makes perfect sense, dude.
How do you do fellow children?
Well, I was so like the funny thing is I got into this conversation with a couple of bands. It's like if you're writing music for your own age group, you're doing the wrong fucking thing. You've got to go after the kids. It's like and this is not a predatory thing. I don't want this to sound bad because that sounded bad as soon as it came out.
No, I'm clipping that. I'm clipping that. Kyle said you got to go after the kids. That's going on the T-shirt.
I mean, you got to go.
Two dudes talk music. Go after the kids.
You got to go after. You got to go after the bank. You got to go after the bank of mum and dad.
Two dudes go after kids. Oh my god, that's the fucking. Oh man. All right. Well, that's
mum and dad. Fuck.
Well, that was. That was Get in the Bin with Jack and Matt from Denazen. You can get your tickets for Metal to the Max festival at the link below. And as we said, you go to Oztix and you just Google Metal to the Max Oztix and you'll get the info there. But we're going to have links down in the thing anyway. Thank you very, very much, gentlemen. You've been awesome today, and we will catch everybody on the flip side. Take care of yourselves. Peace out.
Fellas, thank you. Cheers, guys.